Hello everybody! In this video, we'll be going over the Vocabulary Workshop Level Green Unit 3 words. You can follow along at home using your book. Let's get started! Our first word is active. Active is an adjective and it means taking action or full of movement. Someone who is active is moving, doing things. They're not just sitting around. The example says, to be healthy, it is important to stay active. Synonyms are lively, busy, and energetic. Antonyms are slow, lazy, and passive. There are many ways that we can stay active. One of the ways, of course, is exercise. You can exercise by playing a sport. That is a good way to stay active. Or riding a bike, running, even riding on your scooter are all great ways to stay active. When we are active, then our body is healthier. What do you do to stay active? Our next word is bargain. Bargain has two meanings. The first way we use this word is as a noun, and it means an agreement between two people or groups. So there are two people that are agreeing or they're saying okay to something. It can also mean something sold cheaply, something that does not cost a lot of money, or a good deal. This one is also related to something that is cheap. So you pay a little bit of money for something and you can say that's a good deal. Let's look at the example. The baseball cards were a bargain at $1 a pack. So remember, bargain can mean something that is cheap. It doesn't cost a lot of money, so it's a good deal. In this sentence, this person bought some baseball cards for only $1. So I can say that is a bargain. The baseball cards for $1 are a bargain. A synonym of this word is steal. This steal doesn't mean to really take something without paying money. It just means something is so cheap or it costs so little money that it feels like you are stealing something, even though you are not. And there are no antonyms for this word. Often, when people see a sale, so there are things being sold for less money than usual, then they think that is a bargain because it costs very little money. If you go to a market, you can usually find a lot of good bargains. We can also use bargain as a verb, an action word, so this time you are doing something, and it means to ask for a lower price, to agree to sell something for less. So now we are not talking about the thing that is a good deal. We're not talking about the thing that is a bargain. We're talking about the action of asking for a lower price. For example, not many store owners like to bargain with customers. So if you go to a market, usually you can bargain with the store owner. For example, the person that wants to buy something might say, oh, I want to pay, let's say, $3 for this. And then the store owner will say, no, I'll give it to you for $4. And they can talk a little bit and change the prices to see in the end how much the item will cost. That is called bargaining. They are bargaining for a price. Another example would be, I tried to bargain for the price of the painting, but the store owner did not allow me to bargain. Another word we often use is haggle. It's a synonym of bargain. And we usually use both of these words often. So you can say, I haggled for this picture, or I bargained for this picture. And there are no antonyms for this word. So remember, we can use bargain as a verb to say you are bargaining, you are asking for a lower price, or we can use it as a noun to talk about the thing that is a good deal, the thing that is cheap. It is a bargain. Our next word is gasp. Gasp does have two uses. We can use it as a verb, and it means to breathe in quickly or have trouble breathing because of fear or shock. It can also mean to catch one's breath. Maybe you've heard a gasp before. It kind of sounds like that is a gasp. Let's look at the sample sentence. I'm sure you're going to gasp when you see the scary part of the movie. So a time when people gasp is often when they are scared. Maybe they're watching a scary movie and something really frightening shows up on the TV, then she might gasp. Or if you hear some shocking news or see something amazing, you might also gasp. Another way we use this word is to catch your breath. Maybe when you are swimming, it's a little bit difficult to breathe. So you can see here, the swimmer is gasping for air when he comes to the top of the water. Or also when we are running, we might gasp for air. A synonym of this word is pant. Pant, we often use it for dogs or other animals when they are making that gasping, like that kind of sound. There are no antonyms for this word. We can also use gasp as a noun. And in this case, we're talking about the act of gasping or panting. Let's look at the example. We heard the sound of a gasp as the runner crossed the finish line. So in this sentence, we're not using gasp as our verb. Our verb here is heard. We hear something. And the thing that we hear is the sound of a gasp. So we can often use this phrase here as a noun. I heard the sound of a gasp. Or there was a loud gasp in the crowd. There are no synonyms or antonyms for this word. So remember, we can use gasp as a verb to mean you are making that sound, or we can use it to talk about the actual sound. For example, there was a gasp when he jumped off the mountain. Our next word is loyal. Loyal is an adjective and it means faithful to one's country, a person, or an idea. This word faithful means that you are being true. You are being true, you are being honest, you are not lying to the person or to the idea or to the country. You are loyal. For example, the loyal soldier was proud to serve her country. We often describe soldiers as being loyal. It means that they listen to the rules, they follow the orders, they promise that they will take care of their country and they will protect their country. So we can say they are loyal. We also often talk about dogs as being loyal. They always listen to their owner. Someone who is loyal will never do something to hurt another person or to hurt the thing that they are trying to protect. We can also be loyal to our friends. If you make a promise with your friend and you keep that promise, then you are loyal. But if you make a promise and you break the promise or you tell everyone your friend's secret, then you are not loyal. There are no synonyms, but some antonyms are unfaithful or treacherous. Think about the person who is your best friend. Do you think that they are a loyal friend to you or not? Our next word is resource. Resource is a noun. We often use this word with an S to talk about resources, more than one. And this word means a source of useful supplies, materials, or information. A source is where something is coming from. It's the thing that's giving you something. And for resource, we need things that are useful. You can use them. They can be supplies like books. They can be materials like wood for making tables and chairs, or it can even be just information. All of those things, we can call it a resource. And a synonym of this word would be supply. Let's look at the example. An encyclopedia is a valuable resource. An encyclopedia is a book that we used before we had computers and the internet. And it was a very large and heavy book that was full of different information. So if you wanted to learn about many things, then you could just open the encyclopedia and find out about it. And valuable just means important or useful. Another way we can use this word is by talking about natural resources. These are the things that the planet Earth gives us, or the materials that Earth gives us that we can use. They are our resources. I already said that wood is one of the resources we use to build things like houses, chairs, tables. Wind is also a resource that we use to make energy. Oil is a resource that we use for driving our car. It gives us the gas. We also use water. Of course, we need to drink water. That's one of the resources that our planet gives us. Our computer and the internet is also an amazing resource. Anytime that you need information, you can just look on the internet and you'll find many different resources, many different things that can help you find or learn the information. And of course, the library can also be a resource for information because there's many different books on many different topics. All of the books are resources. Our next word is sensitive. Sensitive is an adjective, so we use it to describe things, and it means reacting to something quickly or easily hurt or bothered. And for this word, we often use this second definition, easily hurt or bothered. Let's look at the example. My teeth are sensitive to cold drinks. There are some people that when they drink or eat something cold, then their teeth will start to hurt. When that happens, that means that your teeth reacted quickly. Right away, when you eat something cold, your teeth started to hurt. So they are sensitive. You can say, I have sensitive teeth. Or people who eat something and their stomach hurts quickly, we can say, I have a sensitive stomach. For this second definition, easily hurt or bothered, we can also talk about people's feelings. Someone who is a sensitive person, they might easily cry or they might easily become sad if something they didn't like happened or if they didn't get something they wanted. Then we can say they are sensitive. Some synonyms are touchy or delicate, and antonyms are insensitive and uncaring. Do you think that you are a sensitive person? Or do you have a friend who is sensitive? Our next word is struggle. Struggle has two uses. We can use it as a noun, and it means an enormous effort or attempt, a battle. Basically, it means just trying very hard. That is a struggle. You are trying very hard to do something, and it is not easy. For example, it was a struggle to climb the mountain. Think about climbing a very tall mountain. Do you think it's something that's easy? Or does it take a lot of effort, a lot of energy to do? If something takes a lot of energy and a lot of effort, then you can say it is a struggle. Remember, we're using this as a noun first. So we're talking about the thing, the struggle. It was a struggle. Climbing a mountain is a struggle. Here are some phrases that you can use for this word. For example, you can say, it was a struggle to blank. Usually in the morning, it's difficult to wake up, so I can say, it was a struggle to wake up this morning. Or, blank can be a struggle. Maybe we can say, learning a new language can be a struggle. Do you think it's easy or difficult to learn a new language? I think it's a little bit difficult, so I can say it is a struggle. We can also say blank is a struggle, maybe running, because I think running is difficult, so running is a struggle. Or we can say he overcame his struggle to blank. Overcame means you pass it. You are not having a hard time anymore, you got over it. So I can say, he overcame his struggle to learn how to tie his shoes. Maybe tying his shoes was really difficult, but he kept trying, he put a lot of effort, and finally he overcame the struggle and tied his shoe. And a phrase that people often say is, the struggle is real, when something is really difficult. Struggle can also be used as a verb, so now we're talking about the action. The meaning is still the same, to try hard, to make a great effort, or to fight. And for example, we can say, the mom and dad have to struggle to win the tug of war. So now the action they are doing is struggle. They are struggling to win. Here in this video, you can see the puppy is struggling to swim. He's having a hard time. He has to try hard. So I can say he is struggling. Or here too, we can say the turtle is struggling to turn over. Some synonyms are strive or wrestle. There are no antonyms for this word. So remember, the meaning of struggle didn't change. We're just using it in a different way. We can use it as a noun to talk about the struggle, or we can use it as a verb to talk about the action. I struggled, he struggled, she struggled. Our next word is value. Value has two different meanings. First, we can use value as a noun, and it means something important, or the worth of something, an amount. Let's look at the example first. I did not know the value of the painting. So remember, value here means the worth. The worth is how much something costs, or how much something is. So this person did not know the value of the painting. They didn't know that this painting cost a lot of money. We can also talk about value of other things like our cars. Did you know that when you buy a car, the value of the car will go down? So if you buy a car and then you want to sell it after you buy it, you cannot sell it for the same amount of money because the value of the car, so how much it is worth, went down. And the opposite is usually true for a house. When you buy a house, you hope that the value of the house will go up. That way, when you sell the house later, you can make more money. So the value of something is how much it is worth. What's the amount of money that it costs? And a synonym can also be importance, the importance of something. Especially because value is not only about money, but it can also be just to you. What's the value of something to you? Maybe you have a favorite teddy bear, and for you, that teddy bear has a lot of value. It's very important. But for someone else, that teddy bear doesn't have any value because it's not theirs. We can also use value as a verb to talk about to estimate the worth of or to think highly of. For example, I value your opinion because you are so wise. So in this case, it is the action. You are thinking that something is very important. So you can value someone's opinion. Maybe someone who is smarter than you, so you think their ideas are important. You are listening to them because you value their ideas or you value what they are saying. We can also say if you go to a jewelry store and you have a ring, the person working there can value how much your ring costs. So they will take a look at the ring and they will value it. So we can say he valued that my ring was only $10. So it means the ring was fake. It didn't cost a lot of money. Another thing you can value is your friends. You can think that your friends are important. You can think very highly of them. So you can say, I value my friends, or I value my family. I think my family is important. Let's look at the synonyms because we can say assess, price, or treasure. So this synonym treasure especially can be used with our friends and family and things that are important to us. So I value my brother or I value my grandparents. Another thing you can value is your teachers. You can say, I value my teachers because they always help me. Antonyms are scorn and reject. So again, we can use value as a verb, the action of valuing something, or we can use it as a noun, the value of something, the value of a painting, the value of a car or a house. Our next word is very. Be careful with this one because it sounds similar to very, like I like chocolate very much, but it's not the same. This word vary is a verb and it means to do in a new way, to make different or to change. For example, to make lunch interesting, vary your choice of vegetables. So we are making it different. We're doing something new. If you always have the same vegetables all the time, then it can be boring. It's more interesting if you vary. You change your vegetables often. Something that often varies or changes is your feeling. So the way you feel can vary every day, or it can even vary a few times a day. Maybe you wake up happy, and then later in the afternoon you are surprised, and then at night you are mad. So we can say, my feelings varied a lot today. Another thing that can vary is fruits and vegetable because of the season. Did you know that fruits vary depending on the season? They change. For example, in the winter, I can find strawberries very easily. But in the summer, it's a little bit harder to find strawberries, or they might be a lot more expensive. Their value goes up. So that is vary. A synonym can be alter, which just means to change something. And there are no antonyms for this word. Our final word is wander. Wander is a verb and it means to move around without a plan or goal, to get lost. So when you are wandering, you are usually just walking around. There's nowhere that you want to go. Maybe you just wanted to go outside and look around. Then you are wandering. Let's look at the example. Did you see the deer wander into our backyard? So animals often don't have a plan about where they're going. They're just walking around and looking for food. So I can say the deer wandered into my backyard. Or I can say the girl wandered through the forest. Some synonyms are roam, ramble, or stray. And antonyms are to stay or remain. So again, when you wander, you are just walking around or moving around. Maybe you don't know where you're going. Maybe you can get lost. Not always, but you might get lost if you are just wandering around without thinking. When I go to the shopping mall, I like to wander around and look at all the different stores. I don't have a plan, I just wander around. Is there a place you go where you like to just wander around? And that's all for this video. We went over the Vocabulary Workshop Level Green Unit 3 words. Thanks for listening and I'll see you next time. Bye!